Hello and welcome to Caching Waves. Sorry for the lack of updates. I know I've said that a lot the last week, but I've just been really sick, going on 10 days. Just can't shake it, but I feel a little better today. My voice is slightly recovered. I just wanted to give an update on Joe and where things changed. So last time we had conflicting counts between Binance and BitGet. First one was on BitGet. We made a new high for this B wave, which I proposed was a expanded flat potentially. And on Binance, we didn't make a new high, so that was more of a WXY potential to the downside. So what we were looking for last time was just rejection at the 1-to-1 on BitGet. Break the trend here if we made a trend line and look for an entry at our 618, stop at the low to get moving. So what ended up happening is we did not get that. See, this is where we were looking here. We were looking at the 5-minute. Let me bring it down to the 5-minute here. This was on BitGet. We were looking for it to pivot around this area. We didn't quite get that. We had a false breakout. I hope none of you took that. It was clear it wasn't 5 waves here. It's potential some of you took it, and it would have been not too bad if you did. But just make sure you protect your trade. So, for example, I didn't take it because I wasn't feeling well, but this is where our original trend line was. Not the white. You would see this, you would see a 3-wave move, and you would say, okay, we're off to the races. If you did take that trade, your buy was probably at the 618. Let me go down to the 1 minute just to show you. Just want to show you guys how you would navigate these things. So that was our false breakout right here. You can see we broke trend. The only downside to that is we did not make a new low, but that's perfectly fine. That would have been considered a running flat since we made a higher high for our B wave. But if you had counted this as 5 waves up, break of trend, you would have put a channel there. If you guys like these little breakdowns of what I would do, leave a comment below and I'll do them more often. It's more, if I'm not here to help you guys, what would you do? So if you had gotten that, you probably wouldn't even have gotten the entry. It doesn't look like we hit the 50. So you might not have gotten that entry, but you might have jumped the gun a little bit at the 382. And once this takes off and started making a new high, you would have moved your stop right to your entry. Once we broke this high right here, your stop should have been moved to this entry at the low. So if you got the 382, basically a free trade. And then we break down pretty hard. So that's how I would have traded it. Because you got to protect your trade. So if you got that, we made a new high, you would look at this as like a 1-2, 1-2, and you would have expected this just to take off, right? For that next move we were looking for. It didn't do that, so as soon as this happened, you should have been stopped out at break even. So things to be aware of when you're trading. So anyways, that's what we were looking for, that breakout. We didn't get that. We adjust our trend line. We came down and we finally broke out. Bad news. It was in 3 waves. So hang on. So we were looking for the 618 here on Binance. Again, this was the B wave where we didn't make a new low. We were looking for this as potentially a move to the upside. Didn't get that. Have to adjust those now. Get rid of the impulse for the potential 5th. And we might have something completely different now based on the action the past week. So as you can see, we've broken trend for the whole move down on Binance. We hit the 1-to-1 where A equals C, or it's more of a WXY, it looks like. Looks like a three-wave move. So we will correct that. This is just a placeholder. I do not believe this is happening now, but I'll adjust this. I want to do this in real time for you guys. So we have WXY here on Binance. And where are we now? So initially I had this as a 1-2, 1-2, working on a 3, but it doesn't seem likely anymore. If you watch the last video, we were looking for a pivot here just to complete this. Potential 5th, our invalidation point still hasn't been hit, but the time is just way too long. This move out here looks like 3, so how can we get there? You know, it just doesn't work. So we need to adjust our counts on this. What seems most likely now is either this is a wave, this is a triangle potentially, just because it's so long. It doesn't have the perfect things I like to see. I like to see spikes on the bottoms and tops for this, but it does have the shape, and it's kind of the only thing that works for an alternate here. As you can see, this would be a barrier triangle, so we'd have A, B, C, D, E. Not a huge fan of that either. The other option is this wasn't the low and this was our low. We had a truncation here. Looks pretty impulsive to the downside. That's possible. So then that would actually work out a little bit easier for the count, where this is an A. We have our B. If you remember, we had an ABC as a flat and 5 waves up for our C. I think that makes the most sense based on the wave count. It really doesn't look like a triangle, so I'm going with that. We have an ABC. Going green here. Go to micro. Okay, so we have an ABC. Where are we now? That means we can pull our pivot from the bottom of this to the top of this. Where are we? As you know, the start of 3 waves is pretty difficult to get a count. The reason for that is there's just so many options available in Elliott wave, which is a good thing because you can pay attention to everything that's happening, but very tough to trade. You have to more rely on just fib levels, looking for reactions at levels. So clearly this was the end of one wave, WXY. We broke trend. It doesn't necessarily mean we're super bullish, but it means we're most likely working on the next wave. So we're correcting this currently. So I'd expect us to come up, make a higher retracement either from here or a little bit lower. And the reason for that, okay, so we have an ABC, we have a WXY. This is on Binance. Let's go down to the 15-minute. We came to the 1-to-1, where W equals Y, as you can see there in log scale. Let me get rid of this 618. We're currently at the 618. Where's this 618 coming from? Oh, yes. If you saw my last video, you understand this. So I was looking for a higher ABC, which is still very possible right now. I'm just not sure if we're ready for it right yet. So we have WXY. We came between the 618 and the 786. There is a chance this does just fall over, but as you can see, we had zigzag, zigzag. So it looks good there. So if we're looking for an entry, what do we expect to happen? So down at the 5 minute, I'm going to go back to BitGet here. That's where I was scalping this all weekend on the 1 minute. I did get this long, which was nice. I did get this C wave, which was nice. Then I lost a trade in here because I was expecting this to take off here on the weekend because it looked like a nice 5-wave move. I was looking for that. That was stopped out, so I was 2-1 on the weekend. Down at the 1 minute, I was trading on scalping. This was a really nice looking 5-wave. You can see that frustration that didn't go. It looked like we were going to get an A, B, and 5 waves up for a C. Didn't get that. Rejected down. Now I have this as, when you see a pattern like this and your initial trade doesn't work, you have to say, what's happening here, right? So I believe this was a expanded flat here, 335, came really high up, and this was an A, B, C down for sorry. So this is more like this. I know we're down at the 1 minute level, but it works at every level, right? So an ABC, ABC, AB, and this looks like a ABC ending diagonal here potentially for a bottom. So we had an ABC with a running flat in between. You see 5, 3, 5. We had a ABC, ABC, so that's a WXY there, complex correction. Where did we come to? On linear, we hit the 0.618 of this wave perfectly to the tick. So I set this as a buy level right at the 618, and I'm looking for a 1-to-1 move for a C wave or a Y wave up. So that's my current trade setup. Should probably get there overnight. But in a market like this where we're just getting 3 waves, you can only really push for the next move, which is why I'm just targeting a 1-to-1. I might let it run if we really start taking off, but as of right now, I'm just targeting a 1-to-1. As you can see, the nice move here, I thought for a second it might turn into a triangle. It didn't. It came down, and these are one of my favorite patterns to trade, only because it's just a flat pattern, right? We came up right to the tick, and we lost steam here. I mean, it's pretty much textbook, even though it looks like there's a lot of things going on. Again, this can collapse. This could be a B, C, and we're starting a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could come down here where we just double topped, but most likely this looks like a WXY flat, and we're moving up to the upside for a few different reasons. The other reason, this is a pretty impulsive three wave move here. We need to correct it more to the upside. We've just fallen off a cliff. Targets could be between the 50 and the 168 of this move, which is right up here, close to our 1-to-1, or the 1.236, 1.382 of this A wave right there. So I'm looking for that move right now. I'm already in. After that, I would expect us to either come down, make new lows, which I think is unlikely to happen, or make another correction and we get another C wave, larger C wave, where this becomes a 3-wave A, we get a B, and C wave up. So I hope you like that, guys. I know I went a little nutty there with the explanation, but I think it's very important. If I'm not here to help you guys, you know how to navigate this. So right now, entry is here. Stop is at the low. I'm moving my stop now to break even. I literally got in right at the 618 to the tick, right at this bottom. It looks pretty good, so I'm going to move my stop to break even. There's no reason I should not move my stop at this point, because if we come down further, I would expect this then, since we have 3, I'd expect this to turn into something like this, and then we just get a flat. We get 5 up here, and then we attempt that move again, like I explained. But it looks like it's in real time here, so I'm just going to post this really quick so you guys can get on there. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.